In this video, we're going to talk about slope, and in particular, the slope of a line. To determine the slope of a line, I need 2 points. Slope is the change in y divided by the change in x. And slope has 4 values. Slope can be negative when a line is decreasing. Slope can be 0 when a line is horizontal. Slope can be positive when a line is increasing, and slope will be undefined when a line is vertical. So we have negative slope, 0 slope, positive slope, undefined slope. We can look at 4 pictures to illustrate this. So I have a situation where slope is negative. Slope is negative. The line is decreasing. Slope is 0. Slope is 0. The line is horizontal. Slope is undefined. Slope is undefined. The line is vertical. And in the last situation, slope is positive and the line is increasing. Remember, slope is the change in y divided by the change in x between 2 points on the line. So let me identify on each graph 2 points. Slope is the change in y divided by the change in x between 2 points. Let's look at this first picture. So here's a point. There's a point. How do I get from this point to that point? The change in y, go down, go over. Change in y going down is negative. Change in x is positive. Negative divided by positive is negative. Suppose you started at this point and you want to go to that point. Change in y is positive, change in x is negative. Positive, negative. Positive divided by negative is negative. Slope is negative. Now take a look in this horizontal line. Notice there's no change in y, but there is a change in x. If there's no change in y, then the change in y is 0. And 0 divided by positive, or 0 divided by negative is 0. And so that line has 0 slope. Check the case of a vertical line. Well, now there certainly is a change in y. But what do you notice? There's no change in x. Slope is change in y divided by change in x. Problem is, whether that change is negative or positive, there's no change in x, meaning the change in x is 0. meaning the slope is undefined. Undefined slope, vertical line. And in the fourth situation, I want to move from this point to this point. Change in y. If I'm starting here, positive, 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 positive. Positive divided by positive is positive. The slope is positive. Going the other way, if I'm at this point, I want to come to this point. I'm going to come down, come left. Negative, negative. Negative by negative is positive. And so again, I have a positive slope. Now, how does the slope and the type of line impact its equation? When we have a negative slope or we have a positive slope, the equation of a line takes the form y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Both when the slope is negative and when the slope is positive. Now suppose the slope is 0. Well, if I plug in my point slope equation, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And if the slope is 0, then this piece is 0. So the equation simplifies to y minus y sub 1 equals 0, or simply y equals y sub 1. I would write the equation as y equals that y coordinate. So suppose this y coordinate here happens to be 4, then the equation of this line would simply be y equals 4. Now, in the case when slope is undefined, this equation doesn't exist. It doesn't make sense because slope is undefined. And I write that equation of this vertical line simply as x equals the x coordinate that the line passes through. Suppose this point here is 5, and so the equation would be x equals 5. So that's our story on slope. Change in y divided by change in x. Slope has 4 values. Each corresponds to the direction of the line. Recapping, when the slope is negative, the line is decreasing. When the slope is 0, the line is horizontal. When the slope is undefined, the line is vertical. And when the slope is positive, the line is increasing. And that is the story of slope.